I don't believe you.
I hope you've been recording this entire time.
No, I only just now started. When you got the
God,
video,
so you didn't hear me.
when you got the video back. Well, no, because, buddy, I can't hear you, and I don't know much about how you want to make our start and ending stingers. Hearing you curse and do a fricka-fracka because you're having audio issues, I would think doesn't make for the best content.
I take that as an insult. B, I bleep everything out anyway.
You do not.
Give me one example on how I don't bleep it out. I bleep it out all the time. I even have a bleep button on my thing.
I believe that you have a bleep button. I'll have to go back. One of the episodes, in like the last 5 episodes, one of them, I think it was in the start or the end that it was not. I don't know if it was you or me that swore, but one of us did, and it was let loose there.
Thank you for downloading our recent episode. For more episodes like this, go to movieguyspodcast.podbean.com for more episodes. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Today, we are continuing our sports retrospective. Again, another time I can't open the show. We're doing football tonight, and we're doing the classic Rudy. Eric, how the hell you doing?
Very excited. Of course, this is a classic. This is the classic. This is a sport movie staple. I think we already know this is going to be a large bag across the board because it tops almost every list for the most part. But what other football movie would you put on here? I know we like to try to get one of each sport during this retrospective so as not to completely dilute one over the other. So it's a tough choice.
Okay, so I'm very biased when it comes to football movies. If you name them, I probably will tell you. Like, if you name a list of them, I'll probably tell you yay or nay. But off the top of my head, the 3 football movies, one of them I despise because I saw it all the time in high school. But it would be Rudy, Remember the Titans, which is like every day. And then,
left side.
Yes, every day. And then my favorite football movie of all time, you know what it is, Varsity Blues.
Well, of course, you're going to say Varsity Blues.
Because that reminds me of my
You
own
have
time.
a lot of other football movies, though, besides those two, right? You have, like, Invincible. You have, what's it? We Are Marshall. That was a good one, right?
Any Given Sunday.
Any Given Sunday. Oh, my goodness. There you go. The big one. Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I like giving. Fun fact, there was a lot of NFL players in that movie, and in interviews they said that Oliver Stone got it pretty much correct. That's how it really is. And it's just like, oh, that's like a testosterone drug-filled world. I don't know if it's like that anymore, but that's how it was in the early days, I guess.
And high-priced prostitutes.
I mean, is there anything better?
That's how you know you made it.
Well, what's-her-face didn't make it because she was a prostitute. Saved by the Bell. Showgirls to that.
Oh, yeah, true enough. Would you consider The Blind Side to be a football movie?
I'm going to confess.
HR says yes.
I'm going to confess I've never seen it because I was at that phase in my life in the early 2010s, like late 2000s, early 2010s, where I was not into mainstream hype movies.
Really?
Just wasn't into it. I was, I was into the indie scene. I was into Usual Suspects and Tarantino and Fight Club and, those kind of movies. I wasn't into the big Hollywood Sandra Bullock, Heart of Gold movies.
That movie, I think, is, at least for her career, is going to go down in history as the movie where an actress won an Oscar and a Razzie the same year.
She won a Razzie for that? Not for that movie.
No, she won an Oscar for Blind Side, and she won the Razzie for All About Steve, I think is the movie.
I mean, okay. That's just the Razzies razzing her.
That's why they're the Razzies.
Yeah, yeah. I have not seen Rudy. Oh God, probably since high school age, and I watched it last night. It's on Netflix, and my wife is a very hardcore Catholic, and she likes football, but not as much as I do. And I said, "Hey, I gotta watch Rudy," and I press play, and she goes, "I'm gonna admit something to you." I said, "What?" She goes, "I really have never seen the movie." I go, "Bad Catholic. What are you doing?" And she's just like, "Well, why am I a bad Catholic?" I was like, "Did you see? I mean, have you at least seen the scenes where they Rudy, Rudy?" She's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "Oh, jeez, okay, all right."
What?
Yeah, she said she's seen some scenes, but she's never seen the movie before, so we watched it. Under 2 hours, perfectly fine for a biopic. This is fun.
Father Kavanaugh would be disappointed. Yeah, I don't know. We could call this an actual or a true biopic, whatever you want to call it, because it's based on a true story, but much like the movies similar to it, it embellishes a lot and it kind of gives a Hollywood take to it a bit more, right?
Well, the real Rudy said, and I don't know, I've read a couple interviews, he changes it all the time, but the real Rudy says that 95% of this movie is accurate. He said that
Well, yeah, it shows him in a better light.
Well, evidently he was okay, right? I mean, people liked him, but like he didn't have a brother Frank. There was no magical groundskeeper, right?
Oh my God, what was the magical? What was the movie with David Allen Greer? Oh my goodness, David Allen Greer. That came out earlier today, or the. The American Society of Magical Negroes.
That's your word.
It's basically a Bagger Vance.
Yeah, I was just saying he was magical.
It's kind of the same token thing, right? Where
sure,
it's the black guy who didn't, who helps the main white lead learn a lesson.
Yeah, he even brings up race too, and it's what
you don't know what you got, youngin.
Yeah, it's like what was he doing to be this actor in this time? Charles S. Dutton, right, who played the groundskeeper. He just came right off of Alien 3, which was a horrendous shoot, a horrible shoot, and then to go to this, it's just like what a career, wow.
I Charles S. Dutton is one of those who. I think if you make a career playing yourself,
right,
then you've done something right in life, right? That's basically all he has done, especially in Rock. I think if you remember that TV show, it was like Fox's answer to like Married with Children or whatever. But it just seemed like he just kind of plays strict black man in every single movie he's in.
Well, I just find it funny because it's acting, right? So it's not real, it's make-believe, but I just find it funny that he went from Alien 3 saying to Ripley, "I'm a rapist and murderer of all women," to a magical groundskeeper with a heart of gold. You know what I mean? It's just funny to me.
Well, wait a second, because in between Alien 3 and Rudy, he did Distinguished Gentleman, which we know is part of the downfall of Eddie Murphy's career. And he did Menace to Society. Hey, now that's a good one. Is that Hughes? Yeah, Hughes Brothers? Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the non-Boys in the Hood one, yes.
Yes, correct.
Right. If they just avoided the surveillance cameras. So, yeah.
What'd you say about my mama?
I will say, no shocker, as I done my history on the real Brudiger. Of course, he went on to become, a great public speaker, like a Jordan Belfort, if you will. And just like Jordan Belfort, he was involved in penny stock pump and dump schemes in 2011 and paid almost $400,000 in penalties because of it.
Yep.
But now he is still to this day going around to children talking about, "I had a dream once, and it happened."
Why not? again, that's why I think this movie is going to help him. Whatever is true and whatever is not, it's going to keep his career going and just saying, hey, remember that movie? And because of how good the movie is, which I think really is like the pinnacle of what our retrospective is, of what a movie, a sport movie is, right? The rags to riches, from the bottom to the top type of movie. You had a challenge. It was a big obstacle. You overcame it with the ultimate reward, right?
So
With everybody chanting your name, Rudy, Rudy, and getting carried off the field.
I didn't, because thank you for segueing into that. And then we can talk about the movie itself, but a little bit more history on this real life. I didn't know this, and it's really kind of cool. But when Rudy was a senior, there was a very famous freshman quarterback on this team, Mr. Joe Montana.
Oh, okay.
Did you know this?
No, I didn't. Go ahead.
So in real life, Joe Montana was a freshman quarterback for the Irish, and Rudy was a senior. And allegedly, according to Joe Montana, which I don't know if he was ribbing somebody or I don't know if it was true, he said that the sack happened in real life. Rudy did sack the Georgia Tech player, the quarterback. And when the players carried him off the field, it was meant as a joke. They were making fun of him.
Yes, that's what I had heard as well, that the game was already over, right, at the last part of it. When Notre Dame was already up, they held them to doing any more points. They were supposed to do victory formation and just let the clock run, but Notre Dame did the play. They got a touchdown. They give Georgia the ball back and gives the senior defense to go out there and make another play. All this stuff happens. And, yeah, from what I understand, this was not the entire stadium shouting Rudy, but it was audible. I don't know if that part, it seems to be one of those fish stories where it gets bigger every time you tell it.
Absolutely. But that's good. So here we are dogging in the first few minutes of Rudy. But this doesn't mean we hate it because, wow, I haven't seen this movie since high school, and boy, it's a tearjerker. Got you on the feels. Everybody has dealt with this, right? Everybody has this story. An individual who wants something so bad since they were a child, and they leave everything behind. They have no place to go, and they're only focused on one thing. And they keep on getting told no, no, no until they got their chance. And when they get their chance, they're successful at it. Who doesn't love that story? So this movie, then, is amazing.
Sure. Again, aside from the real or not, the story alone it motivates you, right? It's inspirational. It's a great story. It starts off with a guy who's clearly not been given a pretty good hand.
No.
And he makes the most of it.
It's funny, right? So, real life here, Rudy is one of 14 children. I don't know if they say that in the movie, but in real life, one of 14 children. And they are in Illinois. And movie starts out with him as a kid, as his brothers. And everybody in this boom town of this small town of Illinois is the standard two-story, suburban homes. In the middle of all of this, literally, is the steel mill. That's where all the men go to work.
Exactly, yep.
And all these boys know that they can love football all they want, but at the end of the day, they're all going to work at the steel mill.
Yeah, you got to clock in, clock out, working for the man. And this movie, he only has two older brothers, right? John and Frank.
Right. But in real life, he has 14 siblings. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of casting. We don't need to do that.
And he has a best friend, too. Let's call him Eric.
Pete.
Yeah, Pete. Pete is the best friend who will always cheer him on, always give Rudy, the strength to go on, the strength to continue, right? The only one that believes in him.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah, he's what a friend should be.
So Rudy loves Notre Dame. He grows up wanting to play for Notre Dame. Everybody, no, you ain't going to do it. You ain't going to do it. That's one of the complaints that people have said online that I've read is that everybody's negative to him. I don't think everybody's negative to him. I think everybody's realistic because it's pretty hard to do this.
It is, but I feel like maybe not so much negative or even realistic. It's just one of those where it's just kind of beating India a bit more where it's just like, hey, this is the pattern. This is where we're at right here. For what you want to do, like the percentage is so low, and it's just like you don't need to give yourself all that hope because you're going to be down here with us in no time.
So Rudy grows up. He's graduating high school. They do skip one thing that's in his life, his real life, that they don't do in this movie. And I'm okay they didn't show it. But after high school, the real Rudy went 4 years to the Navy.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah. Quite a life. Again, you had a lot of Hollywood in this movie where it's just, let's streamline the story. We need to cut out all the extra. Let's get right to the good stuff.
Yeah, but do you agree with Hollywood that they cut out Navy stuff? Like, do you think they should have done a couple scenes of him in basic training and showing his drill instructors that he has a heart of gold? Or do you think that was not necessary?
I don't think it was necessary. I don't think it would have added much to it, really.
Okay.
I think you would have put in, because of that, you would have added another 20 minutes to the film.
Okay, yeah, so nowadays they would do that. If this movie was made nowadays, they definitely would have done that, right?
If this movie was like a series, which seems to be more of a popular thing, but this is already running about 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
So if you have that, then a few things in the production. You're adding more characters. You're adding more scene to it. Whether or not it's going to add anything to the story or the character development, which I don't think it will. I think you can easily show the determination that Rudy has to obtain his goal without him going to the Navy and doing his service and showing everyone else like, oh man, this kid's got heart kind of thing. Because where would that even come back into play, right? You'd have maybe those people come back to his first game or something like that, or teach him a lesson, but you can do that with Fortune, who is played by Charles S. Dutton. You can do that with the Father Kavanaugh, or is that his name? Yeah, the priest, right?
Who we've all seen.
Kavanaugh. Yeah, you can have the naysayers, instead of it being the people in the Navy who are like, look at this kid, he thinks he's going to be doing something, kind of thing. You can put that as your brothers doing that, right? Okay. Or the teammates that you're on, or it just feels a lot of like there's a lot of redundancy in including that Navy. So again, I enjoy it. I don't know, maybe you could add that in like a few sentences as a write-off, or just like, actually, good point. You could have him, saying it at high school graduation, okay, I'm going to enlist, kind of a thing, and then you could do a fast forward to him coming back.
Well, yeah, because he graduates and, he's getting ready to graduate. No. My time is all screwed up because they jump around a little bit. But the last thing we see of him in high school is when he does the tunnel run where he hits the bag the coach is holding one last time. And the graduation's not till the spring after this, right?
Right.
Fun fact, the coach holding the bag and the players on each side of the little tunnel thing was all from a real high school in that area.
Oh, sure. That sounds
just so you know.
Real.
Just so you know. But yes, he graduates. He maybe something like, "Hey guys, gonna go serve my country." Because as soon as he graduates, it goes 4 years later. Now he's 22, and he's in the steel mill.
Mm-hmm.
He's old. I mean, like, he's 22. It takes him 2 years at Holy Cross, and then 4 years at Notre Dame. So that's 6 years. Dude's pushing 30.
Yeah, on a football team.
And he's getting his butt kicked. Like, that's one of the things that you don't really think about is just like, oh my God, he's like 28, 29 years old.
Yeah, that's one thing that they don't really address in this movie is the age, the real age of how old Rudy is. And good on Sean Astin for being, I guess, able to look the part.
Well, he's a hobbit.
Because I don't know how old he's supposed to be. Well, listen, I mean, current Sean Astin, where he is aged a lot with his weight, is looking a little bit more, I guess, what he's supposed to be. But anywhere from, like, post-Goonies to, like, Lord of the Rings, Sean Astin has just stayed in one size and age.
Hey, we all wish we can do that. But yeah, he's now working in the steel mill, and it's his birthday, and for lunch, his best friend gives him a Notre Dame Letterman jacket from a thrift store, or like one of those penny. Yeah, pretty much a thrift store.
Yeah, secondhand
store. And what a great gift! What a great gift that friend gave him. Right, perfect gift. And you knew. The friend just gave Rudy the perfect gift. The friend cannot continue with the story. The friend needed to go.
Yep. Sorry, bud.
Now, I'm no steel mill worker.
Hot stuff coming through.
Oh, there's a spark in your hair.
Get it.
We work hard. We play hard. If you are listening to this, if you get that joke, this is why we're friends. I hate that he dies, but I guess that happens in real life. But I don't know. Like, if I'm in a steel mill and something's going to explode, run out the building, right? Why try to be a hero? Because that's why he died. He died being a hero.
Yeah, and again, that's probably some Hollywood magic as well, too. What was I watching? But they were basically like factory workers and like mine workers, basically any sort of roughneck work from like pre-1985, I guess, was just rough, man. Like there was high accidents, there was a lot of fatal deaths and stuff that would happen like that too. It seemed like there were more on the legal departments just to kind of keep those quiet rather than any actual like lawsuits going against the company, just like settlements basically. Like, well, this is what they signed on for. This is the contract. They agreed to the terms, and this was a dangerous kind of thing, and a lot of that stuff because, I think wasn't OSHA, like, when was OSHA done? 71. So, man. Whew.
He was not in college at that point. Well, he was. He was Holy Cross.
Yeah, because that's before that, right?
Well, yeah. Before that. So
maybe the same year, but yeah, they're in the middle, like either before OSHA or like right as it's starting to like spread. So it's a different time.
Now, maybe that we are millennial parents, we handle things differently, but I will tell you my honest opinion. I think his dad is a complete ass the whole way through, from beginning credits to end credits. I hate his dad.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is
it's a stereotype, don't you think?
Not only stereotypes are one thing. This guy's just an ass. Like, his friend dies.
Yeah.
Rudy's grieving. His friend's dead. He's upset. And he's made a decision. He's going to leave his girlfriend, who was planning his life for him. Hey, see this house? It has wall-to-wall carpeting, bud. You're gonna buy this house with me. You're gonna put a baby in me, and you're gonna go work in that steel mill that your friend just died in. That's what you're gonna do, and you're gonna be happy. And then you're gonna buy an RV.
I feel like, again, like if that '70s show wasn't a comedy, that Red Foreman would be this character.
Absolutely. Like my little RV joke.
Oh, your friend died? Oh, that sucks. You know how many friends I had died in Korea?
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Right?
Get to work.
Yeah.
You're going to work tomorrow.
So why this dad's a jerk is the wife has this stuff planned. And Rudy, it just ain't for Rudy. And his friend's dead. He can't handle it. He leaves the funeral because he can't deal with it. And his wife's like, you want to go home? You know, I'm here for you. And the next time we see Rudy, he's on a bus stop with a stereotypical big old, you know, no man's bag.
The duffel bag?
The duffel bag,
Yeah.
right? And his Letterman jacket, and his dad comes to the bus stop, and this is the moment where the dad's supposed to give him the great send-off advice that every father should give their child. And no, his father tells him a story about during the Depression, his dad, Grandpa leaves, Grandpa never returns. It's stupid to chase your dreams. Go work in the steel mill. That's pretty much what he said to him. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. You're not, but I mean, you could kind of see where the stereotype comes from, right? Where this guy, his dad, has had all the hopes and dreams beaten out of him, just like a lot of the people in that small town. And he's just kind of, I want to say, jealous of his son a little bit, right? Because maybe he had never gone to the lengths that Rudy is going to, where he's actually attempting to do something. Maybe his dad got shocked into it a bit earlier than Rudy did, but right, like
I don't
that's
agree with that.
where you kind of see that you see that a lot in the psychology where the parent would really hold their child back for fear that they would become more successful than them, or for fear or jealousy that they get to pursue their dreams when they never had the chance to, or the courage to, or the opportunity to. It's kind of a quick telling in the Hollywood story that we get to see here. But again, completely, this is something that you could maybe watch or piece together on a rewatch versus watching this movie when you're 12 or 13 and not picking up on that a bit.
Well, the reason why I disagree is just I have heard that, what you said about parents not wanting their children to succeed. I think that's crazy and stupid. That's my opinion. Yeah, I just think the dad's a jerk. You know, he this is the moment you're supposed to tell a good story, and he just brings Rudy down. And this guy, heart of gold, Rudy, right? He gets on a bus, and he has $1,000 to his name, and he goes to a security guard, and he's like, "Hey, I want to go to school here. What do I need to do to get in?" I have a fan theory. This is not a popular fan theory. This is a Jordan made-up fan theory.
Go on.
When he meets the priest that I have seen in hundreds of movies, but I can't figure out what movie I've seen him in. The old guy.
Okay.
The old guy looks like Santa.
You're talking about Father Kavanaugh, huh?
Kavanaugh. You and I have seen him in thousands of movies. Was he in Home Alone?
Robert Prosky is the actor's name.
Right.
And yes, he has been in just about a lot of the stuff that we probably see in the 90s. Wasn't he in Miss Doubtfire?
That's where I saw him from.
He was in. Yes, he was in Miss Doubtfire. He played Jonathan Lundy. I think he was the owner of the studio, right? He was also in Last Action Hero.
Correct.
Your favorite movie, of course, Miracle on 34th Street.
He was Santa.
No, I thought the guy who played John Hammond from Jurassic Park played Santa in that one.
That would make more sense. Well, here's Jordan.
Richard Attenborough.
Here is Jordan's fan theory. Okay.
Okay, I am on the edge of my seat.
Rudy goes to Notre Dame, meets a very old, nice security guard, wants to go to school there, and he gets introduced to Father Kavanaugh, right? And Father Kavanaugh is like, "Oh, okay, you ready to be a priest?" He's like, "No, I want to go to school." And Father Kavanaugh says, "All right, listen, I'll give you 1 semester of Holy Cross, which is a junior college across the street. If you can get your grades up and perform, then maybe there's a chance." My fan theory, Father Kavanaugh is the president of Notre Dame.
Former.
Oh, what?
He's a former president of Notre Dame.
Was that said in the movie, or is this a real life thing?
This is in the movie.
Oh, I guess I was not paying attention. I'm saying that too because jump all the way towards the end of the movie where Rudy's down in his luck and he's in the church, and he's praying. Father Kavanaugh comes in, has a little talk with him, and then Father Kavanaugh leaves, and then the camera stays on Rudy, but in the background, Kavanaugh stands and looks at him for a little bit and smiles. And I'm like, that guy's the president. This guy has been helping Rudy the entire time.
I would obviously like to think that Father Kavanaugh used his networking to give him a bit of an edge. I can't disagree with you whatsoever. It may even be implied that's the way that they kind of introduce Father Kavanaugh and the way that he believes in Rudy. But, yeah, there's nothing in the film that would suggest that he helped Rudy. But I get that theory, and I would be inclined to believe, a lot of that.
Yeah, because I just feel like he wanted to have Rudy learn, and Rudy did. And this is where we meet a young, very young Jon Favreau.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name?
Oh, yeah.
Dewdrop?
D-Bob.
Okay. And
Wait, do you want to call him, is that his full name?
what, Dewdrop? D-Bob.
Dewdrop. Yeah, they call him D-Bob in the movie.
Okay. Yeah, D-Bob.
I'm trying to look up to see if he's actually credited as a full name of something else, but
Maybe not.
I don't even see him on the cast list. The heck?
Well, that's crazy. He's a big character. You're just not looking right in the right places.
No, my eyes, I guess, are horrible here. What is going on here?
You have glasses.
Jon Favreau. It's just D-Bob.
Just D-Bob. Okay.
It's just D-Bob.
D-Bob's a real character. I guess in one of the bar scenes, he was a bartender, the real D-Bob. But here's a guy who's super smart, who's already a Notre Dame student, or he's a teacher's assistant. This guy is legit smart, and he sees Rudy can talk to girls. So he's like, hey, bud, you get me talking to girls, and I'll make sure you get to Notre Dame. D-Bob fulfills his agreement. Rudy really doesn't.
Yeah.
Until the end, which Rudy had nothing to do with it.
Worst wingman ever. Not really a bad wingman. He just kind of gives D-Bob the confidence more so, but doesn't really like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
D-Bob was great.
Maybe there's a scene cut out there, but... But hey, listen, sometimes that's all you need. That is someone to calm your nerves. If you want to get some liquid courage, that's one thing. Or just a friend being like, no, go over there and talk to her. Go over there.
Have you met my friend D-Bob? Let's go over here.
Yeah, that's just open the door, baby.
I also really feel that we have two movies in one here. We get, there could have been a part 1 and part 2, because I feel it's two different movies. So we get part 1, right, movie, is Rudy getting to Notre Dame, right? It's just the struggles, his life, making friends, getting the job as the groundskeeper, right? Just doing all that struggle just to get to Notre Dame. And then when he gets to Notre Dame, we have the next 4 years of him on the practice squad getting his butt kicked. And that's a whole nother part of the movie, really. But I actually tend to like the Holy Cross years more than the Notre Dame years in this movie.
Oh, sure. It shows him failing.
Right. Well,
I think that's a lot of the character building, right? Is that he's testing, failing, applying, failing, and he's kind of, getting beat up mentally versus on the football field where he gets beat up physically. Right.
And D-Bob's helping him out. He's getting A's and B's. He applies 4 times to go to Notre Dame. Just can't do it, right? This is awesome when he comes home for Christmas. He tells his dad about all the good things, and then that trifling woman of his is now hanging out with the brother.
It's Sherry, played by Lily Taylor, another famous name.
Who's that?
She's an actress, Jordan.
Obviously. Where have I
She
seen
was
her?
she was in The Conjuring. She was in House on Haunted Hill. If you remember that, with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Owen Wilson.
I do. We reviewed it. I do remember her.
That's why I think you would remember it. She was in Leatherface. I'm sure you maybe have seen that movie.
Did we give her the golden headphones? We reviewed this. We reviewed House on Haunted Hill, whatever. What's
we did, but it wasn't that was that 2 retrospectives so far?
Yeah, she was in House of Haunted. Yeah,
because that was a 90s.
That was the 90s horror.
90s retrospective, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm trying to think if we did another movie of hers. I don't know. I don't think so.
She hasn't gotten it yet.
Is it the House on Haunted Hill, or is it The Haunting?
It's The Haunting.
The Haunting.
The Haunting. So we reviewed her in The Haunting because that was also part of the 90s.
Yes, it was The Haunting. That's where I was confused. Not House on Haunted Hill, The Haunting.
Okay, so
House on Haunted Hill was with was that Taye Diggs?
That was Taye Diggs. That was the Sane Asylum.
Yes.
The one that you guys saw a sequel to. So she has not gotten her golden headphones yet. She's trifling.
She's getting there.
I'm just saying she's trifling. That's low. Rudy's gone. He's not being innocent. We don't know what he's doing on a daily basis. He's hitting on girls as he's studying. Rudy's probably not being faithful. We didn't see them break up, really. But for her to go after his brother, that's low.
I think he dumps her.
Oh, fine, but she goes after his brother. You don't do that. It's wrong.
I mean, a fair game, buddy. Don't don't hate the player, I guess.
Yeah, I will if it's a brother. How about that? You just don't do that.
You think that's all right? Yeah.
It's kind of the line. You know what I mean? Like your friend's girl, you get new friends.
Well, these brothers are not, I would not say, the best brothers, right? It seems that Johnny is kind of more of the quiet type, where he's like, I support you, Rudy, a bit more than Frank does. Frank seems to be the one that razzes him a bit more and
right,
really kind of teases him and it's like, what are you doing, kid, kind of a thing. Whereas Johnny's just kind of like, hey, man, you're doing the thing. Oh, I'm dating your ex-girlfriend, by the way, too. Hope you don't mind.
Looks like she had
hey, we're going to get that same house that you did. Oh, and your favorite dog, too. Oh, and, just kind of, yeah, almost to say that in this small town that they're in, your options are, like so limited that it's, if you leave, then someone's just going to step in and kind of take the spot because it's just so similar to each other.
I will tell you that I'm very proud of myself because I censored myself. I was going to have a very, very good inappropriate joke, but I stopped.
Oh, good for you, Jordan. How about you go ahead and text me that joke, or you can go ahead and say it in a different way.
Moving on.
Go ahead.
No.
Okay, we're moving on.
Moving on. Rudy has no place to stay. He can't find a dorm room because he has no money. So it starts to stow away in the janitor's closet, right, or the break room, right? Because there's a break room there and the lockers and there's a bed there. And what's the ground? Fortune. Fortune gives Fortune.
Yes.
Fortune.
This is when he's living at a Holy Cross, by the way, or
right.
He's attending a Holy Cross.
Right, and Fortune,
because he gets to meet the groundskeeper and is working on the field. Yes.
I will say that I like Fortune. I like what he's more of a dad to Rudy than Rudy's dad.
Well, yeah, of course he is. I feel like Rudy's dad is just kind of school of the hard knocks.
We're like
throw him in the deep end.
We're like Charles S. Dunnan's like, are you so blind you're stupid, or whatever he says, those things, he's like, you just got a degree, from Holy Cross or whatever. Now you're coming over to Notre Dame and nobody says you could do it. You came from nothing. And I know. That kind of thing, gives him the thing. Yeah, he also gives Rudy a job, minimum wage, which I don't know what probably was $1.50 back then. And Rudy is
Whatever gives him a place to stay,
worst employee ever. Rudy is. I would have fired him because Charles Dunnon's like, hey man, we got to get to work, and then Rudy's like, and he goes for the 10, and he goes for the 20. Oh, it's a touchdown! I'm just like, dude, get to work, bud.
We got a job to do. Let's go.
Let's go, bud. And gives Charles S. Dunning gives him a place to stay, and Rudy's like, hey, thanks for the key. I don't know what you're talking about. He still doesn't know what he's talking about by the end of the movie. No idea.
Yeah, I don't know who else could have played this role better. Sean Astin as Rudy or Charles S. Dutton as Fortune. Like
Charles S. Dunnan, Morgan Freeman would have done great.
No, that's too like a calming type of thing. Charles S. Dutton is like that again, authoritative father figure,
right,
where he just gives them the lesson.
I got it.
You don't know what you got.
Tony Todd.
Man,
all Candyman
okay,
of them. Tony Todd, maybe
I'm
Denzel.
I'm trying to think of it, but Tony Todd is a tall dude. That's the other part too.
He's intimidating,
and Sean Astin is not.
He's a hot.
So
yeah,
you would have tall. No, you would have Tony Todd like towering over Sean Astin and trying to teach him a lesson, and he's just looking straight up.
I want uppies.
It's just like, yeah, it's like you would have again like a Lord of the Rings situation here,
right,
where it'd be Gandalf talking to Frodo.
Denzel.
Oh, well,
Hot Off the Heels of Philadelphia.
You'd be too young at this time. You need someone older.
Somebody older. Oh man. Okay. Well, I tried. I thought Denzel, Morgan Freeman, Tony Todd. I think Tony Todd's a good pick.
John Amos?
Sure.
Maybe. Is that a good one? Yeah.
I was thinking about John Stamos.
John Amos, man, the father from Good Times and Coming to America.
Oh no, you're thinking of Eddie Murphy.
Oh, you were going to tell you the other joke. You're not going to say that, but you're going to go ahead and confuse all the black actors.
No. Coming to America, Eddie Murphy.
I just said he's the dad in Coming to America. Not James Earl Jones, but the guy, the McDowells.
I understand now. It was not a joke.
No, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. You go ahead and text me that joke you have about, I'm sure, the Sherry, the ex-girlfriend. I'm sure it's going to be positive. I cannot wait.
I am not laughing because of a joke. I'm laughing because you're accusing me of this nonsense. Let's move on.
Listeners, I apologize for this. Jordan Love, Wakanda Forever.
And
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Okay, so he's at Holy Cross for 2-3 years. He's applied 2 years, right? Because every semester he can apply, so he can transfer to Notre Dame, right?
You're right.
So he's there for 2 years, and after the fourth attempt, because the magical power of the president, President Father Kavanaugh, he's now a part of Notre Dame. So now he's a part of the school. So now he can try out for the team because the current coach, who looks just like the old school coach, whatever his name is, and I am mad at forgetting, from Penn State. Oh, Jesus.
What's that? The current coach, the Joe Yanto, or the new coach from the Packers? No, that's later on.
No, it's later. I'm talking about the old coach. Oh, my God. I'm the football guy. The Penn State coach back in the day, who's now dead, who everybody just loved. Who was old?
The shower guy?
No, that's the main guy. They have a statue with him. He was the head coach for years, decades. Joe Paterno.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, the shower guy.
He didn't do anything.
Oh, he was the guy. Oh, that's right. He was the guy that just allowed the other guy to.
He turned to
watch
the
the boys in the
left.
shower,
he,
right?
he turned to the left. You're thinking of Saturday. It is Saturdays.
Either way,
Joe Paterno turned to the left. But this old coach looks like Joe Paterno to me. And
okay, yes.
It just looks like him. And nobody wants Rudy. Rudy also is becomes friends with this guy number 44, who is a legacy, right? And he has to be a walk-on, doesn't really want to play, not interested, right? So now we get the football aspect of this movie, right? For a good chunk of this movie, there was no football. For a football movie, there's not a lot of football in it. I said football.
You're right.
I said
You're right.
football like 3 times there. But he becomes friends with this guy who's a legacy, and the offensive coach doesn't want Rudy, but I'm assuming the defensive coach is like, yeah, but you have to have him. He has a heart of gold. And then, the old coach is like, you guys figure it out. Take him. So now Rudy's a part of the practice squad. The grunts. You're not tall enough. You're not athletic enough. But you can get your butt kicked. So for the next 4 years, we're going to punch the crap out of you.
Yep. You're there to make our other guys better.
And this is where he gets harassed by, and I told you off air, a very young Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, you also said that this was his debut.
This was his debut. Can you believe that?
I think this is where he and Jon Favreau became best friends.
Just think 5 years from then, he would be in the horrible reimagining of Psycho.
That's, of all the movies, that's the one you pick? Not Swingers?
Yeah, but Swingers is good, though. Psycho's not. I mean, I'm surprised he had a career
I would say both of them were in it,
right.
Jon Favreau and
right.
Vince Vaughn.
But I'm just saying, I can't believe Vince Vaughn had a great career after Psycho. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, most people like us would know him from old school, right?
But that was after Psycho.
Earmuffs. Just say earmuffs.
You know what the real problem? You know what the problem is about old school?
What is the problem about old school?
I watched it recently, probably a few months ago, and you and I, you are in your 40s. I'm pushing 40, and those guys, Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, and all those guys, they were 30, 31 years old.
Some old men.
And I'm just like, God, what have I done?
Would you go back to college right now and live that life?
We could do it.
Like
we look
like old man Rudy did in this movie?
I'm telling you, completely off subject, you and I don't look old. I'm not being biased. Like, I look at old school in 2002, 2003, Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, they look like they're in their 40s, 50s, but they weren't. Right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Right?
I feel
we could pass for 30-year-olds right now.
Yeah, I feel like 40 years old 20 or 30 years ago looked a lot different than 40 years old now. But I don't know. I I'm not saying that I'm going to be able to walk into a fraternity here. Maybe Lambda Lambda Lambda, but I don't think any other fraternity would take me.
Right, maybe. I'm just saying. So back to the movie.
Be a tri-lam.
What I find magical and ridiculous a little bit. It takes me out of the movie a little bit. Fortune is very magical. Not as magical as Morgan Freeman and Shawshank, but I find it as a hard pill to swallow that even if somebody wants it really bad, to get the crap beat out of him by these guys are huge. I mean, like, they're not practice squad against practice squad. This is practice squad against first string. I get that the character of Rudy, not the real guy, but the character of Rudy wants to be a part of the Notre Dame football team at some capacity. I get it. But 4 years, day in and day out, of just getting your butt handed to you, it's really, really hard to believe.
Yeah, he gets floored a few different times, man.
And
actually clothespinned, I mean, rough. And those pads are not anywhere near to the standard where they are now. And those helmets are just, man, he's just getting beat up. It shows some lowlights of him wrapping it up there. And he broke a chair there. Too much non-alcoholic beer for you there, Jordan.
Well, I'm on a wheelie chair.
But it shows him taping up and bandaging and doing all the, icing this and sore back that kind of a thing. But you're right. He still goes back the next day with his bruises, and he's just getting dogpiled, man. That's the other thing too, is that when you're that little of a guy and you have some O-line, right? Dude, you are half that dude's size, and you're trying to push through one, if not two of them, and to still have the bite, the confidence to keep on pushing and have this dude, right, just like a half attempt to shove you down and just say stay down, kind of a thing. Massive unit of a guy just threaten you, be like, stop it, dude.
Well, another thing,
it's
it'll
get to you.
To go off of what we were referring to with old school, with how guys look different back then what they are now. Rudy, a senior year, is 27 years old, man. Now, I mean, I can't imagine going through that at 27 years old. That's crazy. Majority of NFL players retire at that age.
Yeah.
So it's just, oh my God. So it's his senior year. He's getting ready to get the confidence up. The only thing that I would say is that the movie doesn't show us is that football is not a long season, right? Football is from September, unless you make it to a championship, December, January time, right? So you still have the spring, you still have the summer to recoup. He's not practicing every day for 4 years. But he goes to the old coach. He's like, Coach, I just want to let you know this is my senior year, and I really, really want to prove to my friends and family and everybody that I'm a part of this team, and I would like to dress. And the coach is like, no problem, bud. You got it. Fun fact, when Rudy goes into the coach's office and he's watching the film reel, the game he's watching is the game Rudy's in real life.
Yeah, a little fun fact there, huh?
A little fun fact. So why that happens, all of a sudden, the old coach retires, and then the Green Bay Packers coach comes into play, and he plays a villain. Another fun fact is that Green Bay Packer coach actually was buddies with Rudy, and he never was the villain at all, but he gave the writers permission to make them the villain because they thought it'd be good for the story. But he never disliked Rudy, and he did say that scene where all the players go into his office and lay their jerseys down, he said if that actually happened in real life, I don't care who they were, they would have been kicked off the team. So
now, here's another fun fact, is that this character played, who is it, Dan Devine, is played by Chelsea Ross.
I've seen
who we know, he was in Hoosiers. Same director.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that yet, right? And you and I dogged on Hoosiers. We said, I'm paraphrasing here, but this movie's considered a classic, right? You and I both were scratching our heads on that one.
Yeah, and we know now that I think through our watching and research of all this that Hoosiers turned out to be a very much a different movie than what they originally had intended for it to be. It sounded like there was a good, did we say a good 45 or 60 minutes chopped out of the original run that actually is filmed but cut, and they pieced together a lot of what we know now as the movie. And then there was a lot of the complications with Gene Hackman, who basically tried to rewrite a lot of the film, and there was just a lot of, rough parts in the filming and the production of this. So it feels like we actually get to see a vision completed here. So
I would agree.
Does it make a difference? Sure. It's the same writer as well, too.
Well, just like I said in the Hoosiers episode, what made me shocked about Hoosiers was it wasn't following Indiana University. It follows the high school team. I thought it followed Indiana University. That was like the big shock to me. But yeah, it is amazing when you don't have too many Chiefs, not enough Indians, right? And then you have Gene Hackman just ruining. Like nobody came in here with. Nobody was a big star like Gene Hackman was. Right? There was nobody that was huge like Gene Hackman in this movie to ruin it.
I wouldn't, not into that caliber. You had like Ned Beatty, who had a lot of credits going into this already. He may have been the biggest name. I'm trying to think. I think he probably was the biggest name going into this movie.
Who was that again? The coach?
The dad.
Oh, the dad. Okay. But still, though, he's not the caliber of Gene Hackman.
Funny enough, they both played in Superman.
Believe it.
Gene Hackman and Ned Beatty. But this is a guy who was big in like the 70s, big in the 60s. And, you know, had found a lot of work. And, yeah, he's one of those faces. He's, you know, Deliverance, Network. One of those faces where you see and you go, oh, it's that guy.
I see him in Deer Hunter.
Yeah, he's been in a lot.
He wasn't, I don't think. Anywho.
Everyone was in Deer Hunter, Jordan.
Everybody was. So, old coach is out. Rudy now is still in the practice squad. New coach is in. And the new coach is a villain. Will not play Rudy. Practice squad material. What's also funny, too, is that traditionally in sports, when one coach leaves, his coaching staff leaves, too. But the coaching staff stays on. New head coach. Everybody's pushing for Rudy at this point. We're pushing for Rudy at this point. The dude needs to play. He needs to dress, right? Again, crappy family that Rudy has. Clearly, he is on the team. He probably can show them team photos, right? Here, this is me on the team. My face is bruised up. You know, I'm on the team. But eventually the protests of the players come in, right, and say, we want Rudy to take our spot to where he's allowed to dress. And then this is where the dad and the family and everybody comes, and Charles S. Dunnan. And, again, you know, crazy, right? But Rudy's dressing, and then the players go, Rudy, we want you to take us out on the field. You're going to lead the charge.
You ready for this?
I've been waiting my whole life. Right? And,
all right, let's go.
You know, takes him out. Playing against Georgia Tech. Another fun fact that this movie was filmed during a real game at halftime during Notre Dame versus Penn State in 1992. Just so you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, that looks like a real crowd, and you can't really do a computer on that, right?
No, you can't. And, I mean, to kind of sum it up, everybody knows what happens, right? Rudy's on the sideline. Notre Dame's killing Georgia Tech. We're at 24-3, right? And then the big guy, the big hoss, right? Heifer, right? He's gonna Rudy.
Yeah.
And just goes on for like 10 minutes, and then the crowd starts going in, and then the parents are like, they're chanting Rudy, you know, and then we get that craziness, right, where eventually the coach lets him in. You know, he's in for one play, he goes out, the defensive guy's like, stay in there, right? John Favreau yells, he's so little, right? And he gets the sack.
He's the little guy, of course, he's easy to find.
He gets the sack. Game's over, gets carried off the field. We already said in the episode that Joe Montana said that carrying off the field thing was real, but it was meant to be a joke. I don't know if Rudiger, the real guy, felt it was a joke. But, yeah, that is Rudy in a nutshell. So,
fantastic.
Eric, what is your popcorn rating for Rudy?
I mean, this is a large bag, right? hard to contest that it isn't. I understand that there might be little parts that you could have issues with. I think it would. I think the bigger part of it would just be maybe some details left out or some details preferred rather than it being anything else. But this is just a fantastic story. You're right. The football doesn't seem to be anywhere in the majority of this movie whatsoever. It talked about for the first hour and a half, right? And then really highlighted in the last half an hour of this movie. But it's one of those slow kind of burn movies where it has such a build that it works towards that big payoff at the end, where you're invested that much into it, and then that scene happens. You're at the big show. You've done all of this work to get to where you're at now, and it works. You come out on top. And it's just one of those, you know how it's going to end kind of a thing, but it still feels good. I tried to pull up the list. It's in like the top 5 or 10 movies where it's okay for men to cry, and this definitely comes in the top 5. I think Saving Private Ryan is number 1.
I would think Die Hard, but okay.
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
Can't swear. You can't swear. Stop that.
It's a PG-13.
It's a PG-13 podcast.
You're gonna.
I
don't like you for saying that.
I love you too, bud. So a large
Field of Dreams, maybe.
So a large bag for you. Yeah, I mean it's a no-brainer, right? It's a large bag for me. When you see Movie Guys podcast has come up with an episode of Rudy, you know it's going to be a large bag. We did dog on the movie though. I mean, like there is some glaring issues with it, but you're right though. The guy has been kicked down and knocked down for so long that you just want to see the guy finish.
Well, this is the goddamn worst. I'm sorry for swearing, but might be the worst list I've ever read in my life.
Why is that?
I was trying to find the list, and I clicked on one just to see what it was. Pop Crush says the number 1 movie is Furious 7.
Movie what, for men
where
to
they
cry?
say goodbye to Paul. It's the one where they say goodbye to Paul Walker.
I didn't shed a tear.
Armageddon, Interstellar, Click, Goodwill Hunting. This is. I'm not even gonna.
No. Wait, no.
That.
Armageddon at the end when he says goodbye to his daughter. That's a good one.
It says top 20 movies where it's okay for men to cry, and it's like Gladiator. This is going from 20 to 1. Gladiator, The Iron Claw, which we reviewed. Warrior, Logan, I Am Legend. It's at 16 right there, and you already got me lost. I'm furious that this is even on the list.
Logan's okay.
E.T., The Extraterrestrials, Saving Private Ryan, Field of Dreams, Boys in the Hood, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Are you telling me a thumbs up is going to make a grown man cry?
It's for the guys that didn't have a dad, Eric. Quit being a jerk.
Thumbs up. He said he'd be back, but he didn't.
He was.
The Iron Giant.
They made number 3.
Frequency, The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, Braveheart, Good Will Hunting, Click with Adam Sandler, Jordan, Interstellar, Armageddon, Furious 7. All right, let's wrap this up before I start swearing at that list. That's the worst GDN list I've ever read in my life.
We'll talk about Click. How about this? We'll talk about Click. We'll talk about Click. And maybe I can use it for a segment. But everybody, thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You're going to check us out wherever you get your podcasts from. We were on that platform. Eric, thanks so much for joining me. And we'll be back next Thursday for another awesome episode. Have a good night.
Number 1 finger right up in the air.
Number 1 podcast host right here, bud.
Exactly.
I'm going to be stuck in this computer after this show because I've been such a bad podcaster. I haven't even edited the past 2 weeks.
Oh boy,
So,
get in it. Well, you've been busy. You've been busy doing the county fair stuff
I've been a busy boy. I got a chance to take
at
my
the
boys
top
to the
of
county
Ohio.
Fair. I have my fair hat.
You got the fair hat right there. Is that a green one?
And this is a green one, yes.
You also have a blue one, yeah?
I bought the green one last year. The blue one's this year. Every year you got to buy a hat. It's
Man,
tradition.
you're just collecting all of them like Thanos. I get it.
Yes, it's true. Eric, since I brought you to the county fair, I may use this as an end stinger then. What was the world through your eyes? What did Eric experience at the county fair?
It was a fair. I'll tell you that right now. It was a fair. It was about what I expected with more tractor pulls and a lot of equipment. There was a lot of like country farm equipment and toys. I think a lot more toys than maybe equipment. Right?
Sure.
But sure. I mean, that's the place where you show them off, of course. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a lot of that. I don't know if you are familiar with the ICP, Insane Clown Posse. Okay.
I have dabbed.
They are a Detroit gangster rap based group from Detroit. And they are, by the FBI, they are deemed gangster rap. They're, anyway. They're part of the Dark Carnival, and a lot of their, I guess, image is based around what we here have in parking lot carnivals. I don't know. I'm sure it's part of America, right? I'm sure you're privy to kind of what that exposure is. One day in this, no, okay. Well, around here, sometimes in the summer, on a nice day, you'll drive by your normal route, and then suddenly, whoa, the parking lot of Kmart, I see a Ferris wheel. And there is a parking lot carnival that had sprouted up there. And they will be there for like maybe a week or two. Maybe a week? HR got me a look on that one. A weekend? No, I'd say, depending on my area, they usually do 2 weekends. Anyway, it could be shorter, depending on who dies. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
They pissed off the wrong person.
Right.
And that is basically what that fair was, except the fair has animals. So I equate that to be kind of the same food, same games, same rides. Sure.
So you are associating my fair with the Dark Carnival. So what's my Dark Fair's Joker card?
Yeah, listen, yes. I'm saying that the Fulton County Fair was exactly like the Dark Carnival of Souls in the Great Milenko ICP album right there. So, but
at least I'm a good album.
I will say that as mid as the fair was, the highlight for me was the company, was the camping, was the people, was the hanging around watching some good old college football and having a drink. I said college football. I didn't say a certain team. I said college football. So,
right. We don't talk about. But did you tell HR about the jerk walking around with the red T-shirt that says "the" on it?
I absolutely told her about that shirt that said "the" on it, and she loves it. So
yeah, she does.
She got a kick out of it. But yeah, that was the highlight, and I loved that. I could do a weekend of that, of being in that community of everyone in their campers and their lawn chairs and just drinking. I am disappointed that I didn't get to see what it was like at night, because I'm sure, as spirited as it was during the day, it probably got real buck wild at night.
Oh, it got great. I don't know why still the movie guys hasn't infiltrated the gathering yet. I mean, I'm down.
Whoop. Yep.
You say whoop whoop, I say yee yee. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, bud.
It kind of is. What do I say?
I'm not gonna. If you're trying to get me to say it,